Hello everyone, the topic for today is order of operations. First I want you to pause the video so that you can take your notes and then resume when you're ready to go. Order of operations applies to every math problem that you will ever see. First, we need to solve everything within the grouping symbols. Most commonly we're going to see the parentheses that look like this. However, I would like to point out these that are the absolute value symbols, so that if you see something like this, you have to know that that needs to be taken care of just like any other grouping symbol. Next, we have exponents. Then we have multiplication and division, and I want to emphasize that that is from left to right. There will be times where you will multiply first, much like this example. There will be also times that you divide first, much like this example. Last, we have addition and subtraction, also from left to right, meaning that there will be times where you will add first, as well as times that you will subtract first. Let's take a look at an example. In this case, we do have a grouping symbol. We have 11 minus 7, so we must solve that first. So 11 minus 7 is 4, and just for good practice, I'm going to rewrite everything else that's in the problem. Next, we don't have any more grouping symbols, so we have to move on to exponents. Those are not present, so we can move on to multiplying or dividing. Since we have dividing in this problem, we have to do that first. 32 divided by 4 gives us 8, and we rewrite everything else. We only have one operation left, and that is addition. 8 plus 4 gives us 12. Next example. We don't have any grouping symbols, so we can move to exponents. We do have an exponent, so 6 to the second power, remember that means 6 times 6, which is 36. So we have 36, and then we're going to rewrite everything else in the problem. So we don't have any more exponents, so we're going to move on to multiplying and dividing. We do have multiplication. It is on the left, so we have to do that first. 12 times 36 gives us 432, and we're going to rewrite everything else. Okay, we still have some division, so we have to do that first before we add or subtract. So 9 divided by 3 gives us 3. And we're going to write everything else. Now, we don't have any more multiplying or dividing, so we can move on to adding and subtracting. We have addition on the left, therefore we need to do that first. 432 plus 3 gives us 435. And we rewrite everything else. We're down to our last operation, which is subtraction. 435 minus 5 gives us 430. Next example, we don't have any grouping symbols. We do have an exponent. 2 to the third power, again, that means 2 times 2 times 2. That is 8, not 6. Remember, an exponent is not a shortcut to writing, a multiplication problem. So 2 to the third power is 8, and we rewrite everything else. We don't have any more exponents, so we can move on to multiplying and dividing. In this case, we have dividing on the left, so we're going to do that first. 45 divided by 3 is 15, and we rewrite everything else. Last, we have multiplication. 15 times 8 gives us 120. Next example. We have a grouping symbol, so we've got to do that first. So let's look on the inside of the grouping symbol. Well, even on the inside of the grouping symbol, we still have to follow the order of operations. We have two operations here. We have an exponent and we have subtraction, so we have to take care of those in order. Okay, so we have to do the exponent first. 5 to the second power is 25. Okay, and we are going to fix that. We are going to rewrite everything else, including the grouping symbols, which in this case are parentheses because we haven't done every operation inside the parentheses yet. So now we have 25 minus 12, which gives us 13, and we're rewriting everything else. Notice how I can drop the parentheses now because I've taken care of all of the operations within the parentheses. Next, we have multiplication. So 4 times 13, that gives us 52. And we rewrite everything else. 52 minus 6 gives us 46. Here's an example problem that I would like you to solve and bring with you to class tomorrow, as well as any questions that you may have.